Yo, 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 yo. I'm here. What's good? What's good? What's good? It's fight night, baby. Let's go. Apologize for that, man, if you were waiting. I was trying to get my damn coffee going, man. Coffee machine be tripping. It's like, when you're trying to do something, you're kind of in a hurry, and then shit just starts slowing you down. I hate that shit. I'm a last minute type of person, man. It is what it is. I'm a Pisces. That's what we do. We're always late. But look, man, I appreciate you guys dropping by, man. It is fight night. Man, heavyweights. Heavyweights, bro. You never lose when you watch heavyweights. So I wasn't able to watch most of the undercard. I actually wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to come live. But here I am, man. So it's good to be with you guys. And I'm glad to make the main event, and it looks like I'm going to make the co-main event, right? Which is Frank Sanchez. I'm looking forward to that. Frank Sanchez is a beast. And I hope that he continues his successful run. That boxing pure style, man. That's my style right there. That's what I appreciate. We got Yav in the building. Salute to you, sir. Thanks for dropping by, and I appreciate you hitting me up on IG. I saw you up on my IG, man. I appreciate you. Omega Red in the building. Razor531, always showing that love. Andrew Charles also in the building. So you guys know what I do, man. I come on here and give my live commentary of the fight. And after the fight, I give my post-fight kind of thoughts, breakdown, what have you. And that's really when a lot of people start coming in, is around that time. It's not like the biggest heavyweight fight out there, but if you're a big boxing fan, then you should be up in here. Devon Says Boxing. Because you guys know how I do it, man. I give that real punch-by-punch commentary, and this is what I really, really enjoy doing. So I'm looking forward to it. So now it looks like we're getting ready, I believe, for the co-main event. I have kind of just tuned in a little bit late, so if I'm wrong, let me know. But I do believe the co-main event is right around the corner. So they have a little bit of an intermission here. The reason why I give this kind of prelude is because not everybody is able to watch the fight live. So if you guys are choosing Divine Sense for your commentary during this fight, I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button. As always, there's also a poll going on in the chat. Make sure to let the people know on who you think's winning this fight. So far, we got Ortiz up 62% now it's 67% to 33%. And I'm sure that poll will continue to change along the way. William Beecham, bro, what's good, man? What's going on, man, with the Cardinals, bro? Willie, what's going on with the Cardinals out here, bro? They're disappointing the shit out of me. They got a big game tomorrow against Dallas, man. Big game. They can't disappoint. I would almost, I hate to say this, but I would be okay if it's like a dog fight and it goes to the wire. But they can't be going out like the way they did against Detroit and their last game against the Colts. They can't be doing that no more, man. Started the season too good. So I'm hoping that they turn it around and at least have a good performance, something to build on, and then finish the season strong as the playoff starts. But yeah, man, this, on a side note, as we're waiting for this co-main event to start, man, these COVID protocols, bro, they're driving me crazy. They're driving me crazy. It's just like I can't put my finger on it as to if it's necessary, unnecessary, and of course everybody has their different opinion. But I will say this: rather you're for the protocols or against it, it's really like destroying the sports, man. And imagine if you're an athlete, you know what I mean? And imagine if you've got vaccinated, you test positive, you're not showing any symptoms, you feel fine, and then you got to sit out for X amount of days to get 2 negative tests back to back, basically. That's tough, man. That's tough. You're leaving your team stranded, And of course, like the NBA, the NFL, they don't want to pause games. NFL getting ready for the playoffs, NBA going through the bubble. But it's just like, for me personally, it's like, you got to draw the line somewhere. But, I just want to throw those quick thoughts out there because I'm a huge sports fan. And I'm sure we all have teams out there that are being affected by this. All right, guys, it looks like we're getting ready for the co-main event. My man Jimmy got his bow tie on, ready to go. Who is this guy fighting? He's fighting Hammer, right? Or I think it's a Ortiz versus Hammer. Nicholas Long, bro, what's good, man? Thanks for dropping by. If you guys are just joining and you're not able to watch the fight, the co-main event is just about to start. Anytime I go live, just, be aware that I might be a little bit behind you or ahead of you, depending on how you're watching it. And then, of course, latency of YouTube and whatnot. Yave, bro, I don't know, man. They're probably gonna say it here in a minute, but he's definitely in his 40s now, I think. But there's always speculation of, you know what I mean, like Cuban fighters or people from Cuba. They don't even know what their real age is, so who knows, man. All right, getting ready to announce the fighters. I'm probably behind you guys, man. I had to refresh everything. So on my side, they're about to introduce who's this? Oh, Christian Hammer. Christian Hammer, Orthodox fighter fighting out of Germany, 26-8 with 16 KOs. Second career fight in the U.S. I don't know too much about this guy. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I've maybe seen maybe 2 of his fights. What I do know of him, he's a pretty tough guy. And to be honest with you, that might be tailor-made for Sanchez if Sanchez, is going to do his thing and box. Frank Sanchez, 19-0, 13 KOs, fighting out of Cuba. And he was a sparring partner of Canelo Alvarez. Damn. Canelo out there sparring with Frank Sanchez at heavyweight? Damn, I didn't even know that. I guess that's where Canelo gets his confidence to want to go up to cruiserweight. All right, co-main event about to start. I'm looking forward to this co-main event, man. I like Frank Sanchez a lot. I like his style, like his abilities. Hopefully we get more of these Cuban fighters some more appreciation and accreditation, man, for their skill set. And if he wins this fight, he's 20-0. He's definitely knocking on the door as a contender, in my opinion, in my personal opinion. Not saying that Hammer is a huge, big step up or this is a statement fight, but you're 20-0. You've fought on some big undercards lately, and you deserve a little bit of recognition. I think he should definitely be an entitled eliminator in his next fight if he's able to get Hammer out of there either by a beautiful performance or a knockout. So Hammer comes out to touch gloves, and then Sanchez pumps a jab in his face. Jab into the body by Sanchez. You're going to expect that from Sanchez, man. He's going to work that jab up and down. Got that pure boxing style. I'm kind of seeing what I'm going to see from Hammer. I don't know. It looks like he's kind of waiting. And usually that means that you've felt a little bit of pop, so you're being a little bit careful. Or you're going to try to time something. Oh, big looping right hand over the top by Sanchez there. Grazed off the top of the head of Hammer. Both guys look relaxed. I like to see that from heavyweights in the first round. They're not coming out there to try to kill each other. Both being relaxed. Sanchez obviously pumping out the jab. He's throwing a right hand. Hammer hasn't really thrown anything. Just got his hands up. Very, very cautious. Sanchez still pumps the jab. Another overhand right by Sanchez. Partially blocked, partially landed by Hammer. Hammer literally has not thrown a punch. He's literally just got his hands up standing in front of Sanchez. Now, like I said, another right hand by Sanchez. You can see the hand speed difference. I'm guessing that Hammer is being very, very leery of the hand speed. It's like he can see it already, which may be why he's not throwing his hands. But I would probably Hammer finally throws the right hand to the body. Yeah, you can see the hand speed difference is very apparent. Double jab that time. 1-2 by Sanchez. He's winning this first round easy. Right hand to the body by Sanchez. Sanchez on the toes when he needs to. It's just you can just tell, man. He's a mechanical, very tactful fighter. Doesn't like to waste punches, which is something that you like to see in a boxer, man. Last 30 seconds of this first round. Not a lot of landed by both fighters, but nonetheless, Sanchez is in control of the pace. And he's just throwing more. He's just more active. So, looping right hand by Sanchez. Grazed again. And that's the end of the first round right there. Easy round for Sanchez, in my opinion. If you guys are just joining, man, I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in. This is the co-main event. Frank Sanchez and Christian Hammer, who's from Germany. It looks like we got Ortiz in the background here. Joe Goosen has Tyson Fury number 1, Alexander Usyk number 2, Deontay 3, Joshua 4, Ortiz 5. Interesting list there. I got to put Usyk at number 1, though, personally. I don't know how you have Tyson. I mean, I know he beat Deontay and whatnot, but Deontay hasn't fought Joshua. Obviously hasn't fought Usyk yet. I mean, I guess the only reason why you put him up there is because he beat Klitschko, I guess, but I hear Brian Kenny out there. Oh, but he fought Deontay 3 times. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that debate right now. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm trying to commentate on the fight, which is in front of me. It's round 2, Sanchez, Hammer. Whew, that's hot. Make sure you guys vote in the poll, too. We got 18 votes so far. Ortiz, 83%. Martin at 17%. So far, Ortiz is the overwhelmingly favorite to win the fight, which is not a surprise. I'll talk a bit more about the fight once it's closer. Like, once this co-main event is done, I'll give you guys my thoughts on how I think the fight's going to go. But I do want to give some credit to the fighters that are in the ring right now, especially to a guy like Sanchez, a guy that I like, who I think could be the future of heavyweight boxing. So round 2, man, it's very similar to round 1. Hammer not doing much, being very cautious. Sanchez, pumping the jab up and down. Not really landing the jab in this round, but I feel like he's trying to line up that right hand because occasionally he loops that right hand around. I feel like Frank Sanchez in his last fight moved a lot more. Jabbed and moved a lot more, was lighter on his feet. But maybe it's a styles make fight situation. He doesn't feel like he needs to. Oh, left hook to the body and then overhand right by Sanchez. Very nice little two-piece there by Sanchez. Last minute of the second round on my side. If you guys are not watching the fight, I appreciate you guys listening in to Divine Sense Boxing to give you guys your commentary. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Stay a part of the conversation, and I appreciate you. Last 30 seconds of the second round of this co-main event. Sanchez is probably still up. Nothing big has happened yet, but I feel like Sanchez is starting to find his range. Wow, Hammer really throwing his head up in there. Nice right hand by Sanchez to the body. Finish off this second round. I still got Sanchez up. 2-0. Doing what I expected he would do. Box and move. So it looks like we got more votes for Ortiz, man. 85% now. 86% now. Very interesting. Wow. Not very many people going for the underdog so far. Maybe as the main event continues to creep closer, maybe we'll get some people in here that think Martin's going to pull it off. But like I said, man, you know what? I'll go ahead and give my thoughts about the fight now. Why not? In between these rounds. I'm not sure how many people are actually watching the co-main event right now, but I'll go ahead and leave my thoughts, man, about the main event. Obviously, Ortiz is the overwhelmingly favorite, rightfully so. A lot of people still have it in recent memory of Martin getting stopped by Joshua. So it's kind of a situation where if he struggled with Joshua's power, he'll probably struggle with Ortiz's power. We know Ortiz has power. So if you're somebody that thinks Martin has this skill set, and that's literally what it is, a skill set, right? You got to believe that he has the boxing ability to box and move against Ortiz, and that has to be his game plan, right? You don't want to stand toe-to-toe with King Kong, a guy who is big, strong, can hit you with either hand, hurt you with either hand. So if you're Martin, you got to move, man. You got to move, and a big aging, let's call it what it is. The dude's 43 years old. He has to chase you around the ring. You get up into those later rounds, maybe you can let your hands go a little bit and see what happens. And that's just kind of how I see it. You know what I mean? And I just don't know if it's really going to be the bull and matador. It has to be for Martin to have a chance, in my opinion. Jeffrey H. Lopez in the building. Divine Sense Boxing, peace and power. Salute to you, bro. Happy New Year, man. Hope you're good. Glad to see that you're safe, healthy. I appreciate you stopping by. Pickle Rick, what's good, bro? He says, my top two heavyweights are Fury and Wilder. I think both would beat Usyk and Joshua. I agree with that. Sanchez starting to let his hands go here now in this co-main event. I'm kind of waiting for it, right? I'm kind of like, all right, bro, 2 rounds, kind of boring, throwing the jab out there. So maybe that's some tactic to open Hammer up a little bit. Don't forget, guys, Christian Hammer fought Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury stopped him. I believe it was maybe the 7th or 8th round. So, yeah, I just think it's probably just going to be a real quick, sharp punch that Sanchez will eventually find. But Sanchez doesn't look as good to me personally as he did in his last fight. I got to be completely honest with you. And I'm not 100% sure if it's just styles make fights, and he just seems a little bit slower, not as fluid, and it seems like he's loading up with punches a lot more than what he did in the first fight. In his last fight. His last fight, he moved a lot and boxed very well. But this one, man, maybe he's feels like Christian can't hurt him. So yeah, Hammer's literally using his head as a hammer. He's like trying to bulldoze Sanchez in the face with his head. Getting ready to go to round 4 in the co-main event. Everybody who has dropped in, man, I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and stay a part of the conversation. Moped, what's good, bro? I appreciate you dropping by, man. Good to see you in the building. Happy New Year's to you and your family. Hope you're well, healthy. This is just the beginning of 2022, man, as far as boxing is concerned. So hopefully we can keep this trend going, man. A beautiful heavyweight event. A lot of heavyweights going head-to-head tonight, which is good. I'm not scoring this current co-main event, just kind of loosely scoring it. Obviously, I got Sanchez up, but I, of course, as always, will be judging. I guess I should be judging, actually, in reality. But I'll be scoring the fight for the main event with Ortiz and Martin, as I always do, round by round, giving you guys my live commentary. So we're in round 4 now in the co-main event. If you're just joining and you're not able to watch the fight live, we're in round 4 co-main event. Frank Sanchez and Christian Hammer. I got Sanchez up all 3 rounds, 3 rounds to none. It is a 10-round fight, so we're nearly halfway there. Christian Hammer really hasn't done anything other than try to block. Hasn't really let his hands go too much, and coming in with his head. I don't know if his game plan is try to use his head or what, but other than that, I haven't seen much. Sanchez is starting to load up with shots a bit more. If anybody's in the chat right now that cannot watch the fight live, please comment in the chat real quick. Let me know. Just give me a hands up. Let me know if you're not able to watch it, because, you know, it does help me when it comes to commentary, you know, because if everybody's watching the fight, then the way I commentate it is a little bit differently. But when I know people are not able to watch the fight, man, it does, you know, spark my enthusiasm when it comes to commentating the fight, because I want to paint the best picture I can for the people that can't watch. I know there's some subscribers of mine that work, you know, graveyard shifts and shit like that. So let me know in the chat. Pickle Rick says, what's your opinion about Joshua not stepping aside to let Fury and Usyk fight? I think Joshua is taking a huge gamble. Yeah, Pickle Rick, bro. I expected it. I expected it. And I think the boxing world as a whole expected Joshua to force the rematch. You know, you lose all your belts like that. He was outpointed. He was outboxed. He was probably a little bit embarrassed, but it wasn't like he was knocked out or stopped. Even though if it was a 15-round fight, he probably would have been stopped. But like I said, man, I expected it. And I told everybody co-main event round 4 just finished. But yeah, so once that fight was done, man, I told everybody that don't put your eggs in a basket for Usyk to fight in Anybody? All right, Yave, bro. I got you, bro. I got you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you choosing Divine Sense, man, for your commentary, bro. It means a lot. In regards to the main event, guys, for me, for Ortiz anyway, this means a lot for him. He's at a point in his career where, you know, he just doesn't have much time left. He's got to get this fight over in grand fashion. He needs a knockout. I mean, he needs to knock Martin out, to be honest with you. And then hopefully be swung into the conversation of the top four heavyweights, because he honestly doesn't have much time. I mean, a guy like Wilder, who's 36 now, I believe. I mean, he's probably got two, maybe three big fights left in him. But Ortiz, I don't know. It's just a must-win fight. There's no way around it. It's a must-win fight, and he needs a knockout. And then maybe he can be thrown in there to try to grab a belt, before it's too late. And I hate to just lean on, oh, he's old, but I mean, boxing is a young man's game. That's just what it is. Round 5 of the co-main event. If you guys are just joining, man, I appreciate you. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Stay a part of the conversation. I got Sanchez up way ahead in this fight. I got him up 4-0. Hammer just not doing nothing, man. I think he knows the hand speed's a problem. The boxing ability's a problem. Sanchez ripping to the body now. Not throwing any punches. And Sanchez is just systematically breaking him down. Just systematically breaking him down. Round 5 now. About a minute left in that 5th round. I don't know, I feel like I was expecting a bit more from Sanchez, to be honest with you. I don't know why. I really was expecting something a bit more. Maybe a bit more hand speed, put his combinations together a bit more. I mean, this guy, Christian Hammer, is just he's not on his level. He's really not. I don't know why he's so hesitant. He just seems a lot slower than what I remember in his last fight. But you know what? I'm not the one in there, man. I don't know, man. Maybe he felt something from Christian Hammer to make him be a little bit more cautious. It is the heavyweight division. I don't want to sit up here act as if I know how it is to be hit by a 260-pound man. I don't know about you guys and how you guys are listening to the fight right now, man, but Brian Kenny just annoys the shit out of me. Brian Kenny reminds me of the white kid down the street who comes and knocks on your door on Sunday morning because he wants to ride his bike or some lame shit, and never stops talking, never stops annoying people, constantly in your face. But it's hard to you don't want to bully him because you think that he's kind of nice. He's a nice kid, but he just annoys the shit out of you. That's Brian Kenny to me. Round 6 now, the co-main event. I hope Sanchez starts putting some hands on him and finishes this, because it's just kind of like dragging on. This is a 10-round fight, so we're halfway through. But it's like I'm on the edge of my seat just waiting, like, all right, Sanchez, are you going to, like, end this? I mean, Hammer's just being completely outclassed. But sometimes that's what you get with these pure boxers, man. They're just engineered to just stick and move, stick and move, stick and move. One, two, maybe 3 punch combinations, nothing more than that. But I mean, Christian Hammer's there to be stopped, in my opinion. Like, you just gotta sit down on a combination and see if he'll back up a little bit, and then you know you got him hurt. But Sanchez seems, I mean, he's fighting Hammer as if he's worried about Hammer countering him with something big. But I just haven't seen that ability from Hammer yet. I mean, I'm just not 100% sure why he's so hesitant. A minute left in this 6 rounds. Sanchez is winning the fight, obviously, but he's not making it a compelling fight. You know, it's one of those fights that, like, yeah, he's pretty good, but, like, you know, that's the problem, right, with these promoters. It's like they see a guy like, say, Frank Sanchez, right? He's got skill, tough to hit. You know, he's got a nice boxing IQ, but he's just not entertaining. And that's something that Frank Sanchez needs to understand in this sport. At some point, you got to entertain, especially when you're trying to climb the ranks. You don't want to be a guy who goes like 30-0, right? Fighting guys like Christian Hammer, got all the skill in the world, but you're not, like, moving up at all. You don't want to be that guy. And then I don't know how old Frank is, but you'll end up like Ortiz and be 45 years old and never get a title shot. So at some point in your career in the heavyweight division, man, people expect knockouts. You know what I mean? People come in, they sit down, they're on the edge of the seat, they're waiting for a knockout. So at some point, I'm not saying you got to knock out every person, but you got to lay hands on people, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to entertain, especially in this day and age. It's unfortunate. I mean, for me, I can sit and watch a boxing match all night long. It doesn't bother to me. It's entertaining to me. I appreciate the skill set, but I'm not the main consumer. I'm really not. You know, I'm not part of the majority. I'm part of the minority when it comes to analyzing the sport. All right, about to go to round 7, the co-main event. Yo, family, I'm still here. I'm just gonna refresh my camera real quick and grab something real quick, but I'm still here. If you guys are just tuning in, man, we are in the, what is this, round 7 now? Round 7 of the co-main event. Frank Sanchez and Christian Hammer. I have Sanchez up all 6 rounds so far, leading into the 7th, and yeah, that's where it's at right now. So I'm gonna body shots is crazy. The CompuBox says body shots landed 1 for Christian Hammer out of 6 rounds. This dude's literally doing nothing. And I don't know why Sanchez he just doesn't get this dude out of here. But I'm going to be right back, man. I'm going to reset my camera, man. I'll be right back on here. All right, we're back. Everybody dropping in, man. I appreciate you. We are in the seventh round. Seventh round of the co-main event, according to mine. I might be a little bit behind you, just because of the latency of YouTube. Sanchez is clearly winning the fight. I was expecting a lot more out of him. I wanted to see more out of him. He's winning the fight, but it's just not an entertaining fight. It's not a fight where Sanchez is making a statement. And the seventh round is about to end. Karma Boxing MMA, bro. What's good, man? So, yeah, Karma Boxing says Sanchez can land the left hook like Canelo. He doesn't want to finish her. Yeah, it's weird, bro. Like, it's like the knockout's there, in my opinion. It's there. He's just not letting his hands go. Getting ready for round 8 now in the co-main event. For everybody joining and hitting that like button, man, I appreciate you. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Stay a part of the conversation. We go live. We commentate live. We give post-fight thoughts. We chop it up. If you're a true boxing fan, this is something that you want to be a part of. And I appreciate you. Go ahead and vote in the poll. Unfortunately, people come in here, they vote in the damn poll. They don't click the damn like button. That's the kind of the things that you get out. It is what it is. But thanks for the vote in the poll, regardless. So far, we got 87% saying Ortiz. They got Ortiz winning the fight, only 13% from Martin. Now, as we creep closer to the main event, that might change. We might get some Martin people in there. We do have people out there. I promise you this. We do have people out there that don't think very much of Ortiz. So we'll see if people are brave enough to come in here and speak their mind. But I will say this, though. If Ortiz whoops that ass, I'm gonna be curious, and I'm gonna be asking you guys, hey, so what happened to Ortiz ain't shit? Everybody that was criticizing the 2 victories that Wilder had over Ortiz, but oh, but it's Martin, bro. He ain't nothing. Oh, okay. Well, let's see. We'll see, man. We'll see what happens. Regardless, it's a heavyweight event, and I'm thankful for that. Starting off the new year on a good note, and hopefully this trend continues. This card's not the most amazing card, but nonetheless, it's a cool card, man, and it's heavyweight, so always fun. Round 8 of this co-main event. Sanchez just looping the right hand over the top constantly now. These one shots here and there, it's like, yeah, they look crisp and sharp or whatever. They're being partially blocked. But there's just no, like, no, like, 3-piece thrown with bad intentions by Sanchez. It's the 8th round. You got to put an exclamation point on this fight. I'm guessing that Hammer's totally fine with just surviving the fight. It's a moral victory for him. And Sanchez, he's just not engineered to stand in the pocket and let his hands go and try to beat someone up. He's comfortable with one shot at a time. But like I was saying earlier, like, if you have that type of style, you're not going to entertain the majority of boxing fans. It's going to be hard for you to get big fights. And if you get a guy in there like Christian Hammer, it's just like you're going to look good. You're going to look good as far as, like, not being able to be hit. and win the fight convincingly. But it's going to be hard for you to get like the Joseph Parkers or the top guys. It's going to be hard for you to get those type of guys when you don't have much to offer to the casual boxing fans. Nice right hand by Sanchez. Getting ready for round 9 of the co-main event, and they swing the camera over to the back dressing room. Ortiz getting warmed up. They're doing some flashbacks of the Wilder Ortiz fight back in March 2018 when Ortiz seemed to have Wilder hurt quite badly. In that round 8 and then round 10, Wilder started going off and dropped Ortiz. Big right uppercut that finished Ortiz in that first fight. Now they're showing the rematch of Ortiz-Wilder. Pretty close fight, and then one big right hand by Wilder. Wearing those Everlast gloves, man. But not the horsehair gloves. It really makes me wonder, man, if it would have made a difference or not if Wilder wore his, normal glove that he normally wears by Everlast in the Tyson Fury fight, the third fight. We don't know if the result would have been different, but what we could say is that he wouldn't have broke his hand. He broke his hand when he punched Fury literally right on the forehead from that first knockdown is when he broke his pinky knuckle, right? So could he have followed up with that right hand for the second knockdown and possibly hurt him even more to the point where Fury couldn't get up at all? We'll never know, right? But what we do know is changing the gloves in a way kind of backfired on Wilder, man. Chris, what's good, bro? You're still looking for the like button. The like button's right there, bro. Jab that shit. Nitty G in the building. What's good, man? I appreciate you dropping by. Omega Red says Wilder and Ortiz, my two favorite heavyweights. I feel you on that. Nitty G, what's good, bro? One more thing. It's criminal how these heavyweights been ducking King Kong Ortiz for 4 years. Oh, but hey, Joshua supposedly never ducked him. Fury never ducked him. Round 9 of the co-main event. Hammer's ready to go. And Sanchez just doesn't have that killer instinct. He's engineered to stick and move, throw one punch at a time. Every once in a while loads up with the right hand or left hook to the body, but it's just not enough against a guy like Hammer. You really got to let your hands go and just take the willpower away from him. One shot at a time ain't going to do it with a guy like Hammer who's nothing special, but, I mean, he's a tough dude, right? He's a tough dude. He's a big dude. And you got to put your hands together. Round 9 here. Last 45 seconds. Raw Dot, the Prophet B1. Bro, what's good, man? I haven't seen you in a hot minute, bro. Hope you're good out there. Happy New Year to you and your family. Karma says, man, I want to listen to your opinion about Fury Dillian situation. Yeah, man. I talked about it a little bit the other day. I went live. I talked about it a little bit when I was out on the island. I'm back, obviously back. I'm back in the studio now. I'm back from my vacation. But yeah, I went live and talked about it a bit. But I made that after I went live. It was public, but after I published it, I made it just only for members. I do that from time to time, man, to give love to the members who actually donate to the channel and whatnot. But yeah, man, I don't have any problem giving my thoughts about it. I heard that it's going to be an 80-20 split, 80% in favor for Tyson Fury, obviously, and only 20% for Dillian White. Sorry, I'm just listening to Lennox Lewis here. It's kind of funny. We're going to the last round of the co-main event, by the way, round 10. And to be honest with you, thank God, because this fight is just kind of lackluster, man. I got Frank up every single round of the fight. It should be a shutout, but nothing special. But back to the question at hand. I do believe the 80-20 split is a bit egregious. I feel like Dillian White deserves a bit more than that. I hate the politics sides of boxing when it comes to money, promotion, and all that stuff. It drives me insane. It gives me a massive headache. And I know a lot of channels on here, they feed off of that type of shit. It's the controversy part of boxing. Controversy sells. And a lot of channels out here, they grow in popularity because they like to talk about that. But it's kind of like damned if you do, damn if you don't, if you're Dillian White, right? It's like you're the mandatory. You want a title shot. You want to prove to people that you can be the guy to beat Tyson Fury, but then at the same time, you're just getting a minuscule amount of the money, right? Only 20%. But it's kind of like you almost got to take it just to take it, just to try and shock the world. You just got to take what you can get, even though that your pride may step in front of you. Nicholas says Dillian is ducking. I don't know, but that's what I heard. Is an 80-20 split for Fury. Now, again, in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, it's unfair. Maybe Dillian deserves 30%. I think 70-30 is a bit more fair. But at the same time, it's like you're in a position to fight the WBC champ, right? And you just got to take it. I mean, you got to. It's something that every contender has to go through. They got to take a smaller part of the purse, seize the opportunity, then when it swings back into your favor, and if you beat Fury and then Fury wants the rematch, then the ball's in your court, right? You can say, well, I got 20% last time, so this time it's 50-50 or whatever the case may be. So in a nutshell, Dillian's got to take the fight, man. I mean, he's got to take the fight. This is his opportunity, and he's got to take it. It's unfortunate as far as the split is concerned, but again, you're the contender. You got a title shot on the way. 20% is still going to get you, I don't know how much, but it's probably still going to get you to maybe $300K if they're able to sell it and promote it properly. The idea is here, do you really want to be the champ or not, or is money more of a concern for you? And it's a tough position to be in this day and age, is prize fighting, but that's just my thoughts. If you want my opinion about it, that's what it is. If Dillian says, nah, like, F that, what I'm saying? I'm not taking that. That's an insult. So I'm going to do something else. That's it. That's his prerogative. But it may be a while before he gets another title shot, because Tyson might, 10th round, we got a late knockdown. Not that it really matters. Dude, you lost every round, Hammer. Like, I know it's all about pride, but dude, seriously. I didn't catch it because I was busy talking to the camera. I didn't see if it was an actual knockdown right there by Sanchez. But anyways, that fight just finished. They're about to announce the scorecards. I got Sanchez up every round. Obviously, it's a shutout. But main event right around the corner, guys. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button if you're new to the channel. Subscribe, stay a part of the conversation. And this is what we do out here, man. We give live commentary. We talk that boxing shit. If you love boxing, this is the place that you want to be. So look, man, that's my thoughts about it. And, if Dillian White backs out, then basically Fury can say, all right, I'll fight the winner of Joshua Usyk, because that rematch is definitely going to happen. I think that Wilder will fight Ruiz if he does fight. I mean, there's no guarantee. I've heard some rumblings and I've heard some rumors. I've got some DMs from some credible sources that there are some whispers of a Wilder Ruiz showdown, which is a great fight in my opinion on all levels. It's a great fight for both of these guys, both coming off of losses. both of them trying to slingshot their name back into contention. Wilder has the opportunity to knock out a guy who's never been stopped, which is always great. A guy who's been in there with Joshua, who beat Joshua once, so you get that on your resume. And if you're Wilder, you're sitting there thinking to yourself like, all right, I'm 36. Maybe your body feels good, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I'm not in Wilder's mind or body, but let's just say that he feels good, right? Let's say I still feel good. I got a couple fights in me. You fought Fury 3 times. When the history books are written, it's going to be a draw and 2 losses. But you got Fury on your resume 3 times, right? When we go down and talk about the history of the sport, rather, especially in heavyweights, when we talk about Henry Armstrongs and Rocky Marcianos and not Rocky Marciano because he never really rematched anybody, but Jersey Joe Walcott and these old classic fighters and Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, George Foreman. These guys fought each other several times, and it looks good. Sometimes even with a loss. I mean, look at Muhammad Ali and his battles with Ken Norton, right? It didn't hurt his legacy. The fact that he fought Ken Norton actually helped his legacy. So Wilder fighting Fury is going to help his legacy, even though he has 2 losses on his record. But at the end of the day, if he fights Ruiz, knocks him out, then that's just another name that he's fought in this era, right? He's fought Ortiz, he's fought Ruiz, he's fought Fury. Then really the only 2 names that he needs to fight is Joshua and Usyk, right? So you beat Andrew Ruiz, you knock him out, you knock out a guy who's never been stopped. You're literally like right there, boom. You're in that conversation of like who's next kind of thing. Usyk and Joshua finishes up. Now you're in a tug of war with Fury once again on who's going to get the winner. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think that Wilder, if he decides to come back and he fights Ruiz and wins, he's going to have the momentum, right? He's going to have the momentum and have that attraction, especially if Usyk beats Joshua again. Now, Joshua and Fury will always sell because they're both from the UK. It's an easy fight to sell. Even if Fury doesn't fight Dillian Whyte and then Joshua loses to Usyk again, they'll say, oh, well, Usyk's just a bad style matchup. But, Fury, that's a fight that's entertaining. That fight will always sell regardless. So imagine that shit. Imagine Wilder beats Ruiz. Usyk beats Joshua for the second time, but they still make the fight with Fury and Joshua, which is very, very possible, by the way. Then Wilder ends up fighting Usyk. And imagine if Wilder knocks out Usyk. So those 2 losses by Fury doesn't matter as much anymore. It doesn't matter as much anymore, right? Because you beat everybody except this one guy named Tyson Fury who, yeah, that guy was just a bad matchup for you. And if you beat Ruiz, you beat Usyk, you take the belts. By that time, you're probably like 38, 39. You can retire and sail off into the sunset and be one of the best heavyweights of all time, even though you lost to Fury twice. So that's just kind of my thoughts about that shit, man. This heavyweight division can still turn out in so many different ways. And if you're a Wilder fan, it can still fall in Wilder's favor. It really can when it's all said and done. Because Fury has a tendency of retiring. He has a tendency of not fighting, but like once a year. He has a tendency of like, I want to say ducking, but like picking and choosing when he wants to fight and how he wants to fight. And there just seems to always be some bullshit when it comes to Tyson Fury. They couldn't make the Joshua fight like forever. And he didn't even want to fight Wilder the 3rd time, but he was forced to. And I understand people were saying, oh, well, if the arbitration didn't happen, then he would have fought Joshua. Was that fight signed? I mean, I know they were talking about Saudi Arabia and all this other shit, but I just feel like Fury, I don't hold my breath and it's not anything against him. You know what I mean? If he fights, I'll watch it. If Tyson Fury fights, I'll watch it. But I just don't hold my breath with him, man, because I just don't think that he's the type of guy that is really hungry to just keep fighting. I just don't believe it. He'll fight if he feels like, he's in a position where he needs to, or he's in a situation where he needs to decide to retire or fight. He might choose to fight instead of retire. But I feel like if Wilder makes the decision to come back and he's like, you know what, I'm going to fight. Let's say he does something like Mayweather did towards the end of Mayweather's career, where he saw he signed a, what was it, like a 5-fight deal with Showtime. Imagine if Wilder does that with PBC, right? He's like, you know what, I've got 5 good fights left in me. I'm going to sign this deal with PBC. I'm going to get a guaranteed X amount of millions of dollars. And let's see what happens. I'll try to get Usyk. I'll try my best to get Usyk. I'll try my best to get Ruiz. I'll try my best to get Joshua. And who knows? Maybe Fury one more time for a 4th time. Who knows, right? But regardless, I see that as a very, very high possibility. And it's a no losing situation for Wilder. It's really not. You get a 5-fight guaranteed deal. Now, I don't know if PBC will do 5 fights. Heavyweight, 36 years old. They might do 3. They might do a 3-fight contract. Because, I don't know, giving Mayweather 5 fights guaranteed is not like giving Wilder 5 fights guaranteed. Because Mayweather, it's pretty much guaranteed nobody can beat him. You know what I'm saying? Wilder, it's like, if he doesn't, right now he's at a point in his career. It's not like Mayweather. Mayweather was winning, was at the top of his game, and then he got a 5-fight deal, right? And it's like, if you're Showtime, you're pretty much guaranteed that Mayweather's going to win all 5 of those fights. With Wilder, though, because of 2 losses back to back, the 3rd loss was like a dog fight. He got knocked down several times. It was brutal, and so if you're PBC, you're like, we don't know what kind of Wilder we're going to get. So going for 5 fights might be too much of a reach, but 3 fights is possible. And whatever fight he takes when he first comes back, I know a lot of people say, well, Wilder should just do a tune-up. Nah, fuck that. Nah. He needs to come back and fight somebody that can slingshot his name back into contention, because the dude's 36 years old, man, and he's the most devastating heavyweight puncher you can say of all time, right? Especially of this era. So that never goes. Doesn't matter how old you get. I mean, George Foreman was knocking dudes out when he was 44 years old or whatever the hell he was. So that part is like, he's always got that. This is not a Frank Sanchez we're talking about, which we just watched in the co-main event of this fight happening tonight. Deontay Wilder can just land that one punch, and and that's it. That's all she wrote. It's just a matter of the fortitude. It's a matter of his training. It's a matter of, is he going to stay at 235 or is he going to go back down to 215? He's 36 years old. He doesn't have the same metabolism as he did when he was 29, 30, 31, 32 years old, right? The prime of his life. So maybe so all these things are in the question. All these things are in question. We have to consider that. Raw the Prophet says, the Prophet says, honestly, Wilder should retire and enjoy his life with his family. I think Wilder might have some permanent damage on the side of his head. Could be right. Karma says, now people say Fury's a good boxer, but I think the clinch game always helping him unfair. Clinch game and dirty tactics. I don't give a shit what Fury fans say about that. The dude is just, you can frame it however you want to frame it. He's rugged. He comes from the gypsy background. They got little tricks. I don't care how you frame it. It's under the umbrella of dirty fighting. In professional boxing, it's under the umbrella of dirty fighting. When you rabbit punch, when you uppercut on the clinch, when you lean on people's head, when you headlocking people, those are dirty tactics in professional sport. This is not bare knuckle gypsy backyard fighting like you guys do in the UK, right? This is a professional sport. And so it is what it is, right? He's gotten away with it. Most referees don't don't stand up to him, and it is what it is. And yeah, it's helped him in several of his fights. He's been hurt and he's been knocked down in fights. And what does he do? He goes right back into that smothering, right back into the clinch, leaning, headlock, punching on the brake. That's what he does. And he gets away with it, and he gets himself back into the fight. He did the same shit to Wilder in 2 fights. All right, guys, main event about to start. I might be a little bit behind you, but Charles Martin doing his ring walk. Let's get it. Let's finalize this poll as well in the chat. Who you got, Ortiz, Martin? Make sure you vote. I'm going to end this poll as soon as the ring announcer announces this fight. When both fighters are in the ring and they're about to fight, I'm going to end the poll. So make sure that you vote. Get your vote in. It's 90% to 10%, which is not a surprise. I'm a little bit surprised that there's not more people going for Martin, not because they're fans of Martin, but because they don't like Ortiz. Because let's not get it twisted. A lot of people out here have been talking shit about Ortiz for years. He ain't nothing. He ain't shit. He's not quality. He's an old man. All those dudes out there that were talking that shit about Ortiz, an old man. I hope you didn't vote for Ortiz. I hope you stuck by your word and said he an old man. He ain't shit. Wilder beat an old man. And if that's the case, you should be voting for Martin. Stay true to your word. Don't be a bitch like that. I'm dead ass serious right now, because over here I've always been giving Ortiz credit, but as soon as I give Wilder credit for beating Ortiz twice, y'all want to say like, "Oh, come on, Divine, Ortiz ain't shit." Okay, that's your opinion, but stick to your guns. Stand in your square and vote for Martin to beat Ortiz in this fight. Martin's skilled. Okay, let's not pretend that he's just a taxi driver. Martin is a skilled fighter. So stick to your guns, though. All right, so now they're about to introduce Ortiz. He's about to do his ring walk. I appreciate everybody coming in. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate you stopping by. Salute to you and your family. Happy New Year's. Go ahead and subscribe. Stay a part of the conversation. This is what we do here. We talk about boxing. We bounce ideas and opinions off each other about boxing. It's a true boxing channel. This is what we do. Live commentary of the fight. Not everybody is able to watch the fight live tonight. So this is why I come on here to give my live commentary to hopefully entertain and educate people about the sport of boxing as we get ready for this main event. Ortiz about to start his ring walk. I'm going to be shutting down the poll in probably T-minus like 5 minutes. So make sure you get your vote in there. OG Brooklyn, was good, bro? Good to see you out there. Loud boy, man. I see you in there, man. I didn't miss you. Thanks for dropping by. Kaz, my man, Kaz, what's good, bro? Good to see you. I appreciate you dropping by tonight. Go ahead and hit that like button. Get the likes all the way up. Let's let the people know that we're in here, man. Especially on your phone. When you join live streams on your phone, sometimes it's easy to forget to hit that like button because it doesn't show like you're on a laptop. So make sure you jab that like button as you come in, especially if you're using your cell phone. All right, ring announcer about to announce the fighters. About to announce the fighters, and then I'm going to end this poll. So if you haven't voted, you better get your vote in. I'm hoping we can get up to at least 50 likes tonight. That would be nice. So if you haven't hit that like button, make sure you do that. I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. Everybody has voted. Everybody has had their voice heard. And I'm about to close this poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, poll is closed. Main event about to go down. Chavo TV in the building. What's good, bro? Good to see you. I appreciate you taking the time out of your night to come by. Make sure you've hit that like button, bro. And hey, guys, by the way, at any point in time, man, you guys can share this live stream with anybody, friends, family, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Bring them over, man, and have them a part of this fight party, especially if you got aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, whatever the case may be, that love boxing, that don't want to get involved with boxing politics, just want to hear and see some good boxing talk and boxing commentary. Bring them over, share the live stream. I appreciate you. So they just introduced Charles Martin. Remember, guys, if you're watching the fight, I might be a little bit behind you. So try not to spoil it for the people who are behind like me, or especially for the people that are not able to watch the fight live. Luis Ortiz, IBF World Heavyweight Title Eliminator. 32-2 with 27 KOs. Let's go. Heavyweights, baby. Let's go. Loud boy. Remember, Martin said he walked this earth like a god, y'all. Did he really say that shit? Damn. Like a god. Okay. All right, here we go. I don't know who this referee is. Never seen him before. I don't think I've seen him before. Right away, I see Martin's got the height advantage, which means he's probably got the reach advantage. Both guys look focused. I said earlier, if you guys tuned in just recently, if you're Martin, you got an older fighter in front of you that you know has power. You got to be smart and know that he can hurt you with any punch. The last time Ortiz fought, he knocked a dude out with his bicep, literally. Like, literally punched the dude, missed, but hit him with his bicep and knocked the dude out. The dude's got power. His name is King Kong for a reason. So if you're Martin, you got to use your length, your range, and force Ortiz to chase you. All right, we're underway. Round one, Ortiz Martin. Ortiz trying to establish the jab, but Martin is parrying the jab quite well so far. Both are southpaws. Two southpaws, man. You don't see this very often. Do not see this very often. It's going to be interesting. You know, you don't fight as a southpaw, you don't fight southpaws very often. You don't spar southpaws very often. So let's see who's made the adjustments. Ortiz got a little glancing jab. He finally got the glancing jab in there. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Martin. He's keeping his range. He's keeping that jab hand out there, using his length. Martin jabs at the body and gets out. Close round so far. I will be scoring the fight, by the way, if you're curious. So I'm watching very intensely and very carefully. I might not be able to see comments because I'm so hyper-focused on the fight. So far, it's a bit of a stalemate. Nobody really having an advantage. Ortiz is definitely trying to establish the jab, but I feel like Martin's parrying it quite well. Ortiz lunges in with the left hand but doesn't land it. Pumps out. Oh, down goes Martin, but the referee calls it a slip. Ortiz threw a triple jab. He missed two of them. I think the third one glanced him, and he went down. But they could have stepped on each other's feet. I don't know. I'll have to watch the replay, but he did go down. The referee called it a slip, though. The referee did call it a slip, so it is not a knockdown. Ooh, down goes Ortiz. Down goes Ortiz from a 1-2 by Martin. A 1-2 by Martin. Ortiz is smiling. He seems okay. He's shaking it off. Wow. Did not expect that. First round, knockdown by Martin. Martin goes back to the body with the jab. which is what you want to do. And then Martin throws a big left hand but misses. Another left hand by Martin, misses again. Ortiz is a bit careful now. He's trying to get out of the way of that left hand. The left hand is what dropped Ortiz. That left hand of Martin is what dropped him. So he's being careful now. Last 10 seconds of this first round. Whoa. Martin loads up with a big left hand again. Doesn't land at that time, though. Ortiz has made the adjustment so far from being knocked down, staying away from that left hand of Martin. And that's the end of the first round. And, of course, that is a 10-8 round for Martin. I would have not expected a knockdown in the first round by Martin, but this is boxing. Okay, so the slip was because Ortiz stepped on his foot. Wow, off the side of the head, that left hand looped around, and that's where that reach advantage comes into play, guys. That's where that reach hand goes to play. All right, getting ready for round two. 10-8 round, man, from Martin. I don't think Ortiz was too hurt about it. He was ducking and he kind of got hit in the side of the head. You know, it's an equilibrium shot. He got up quickly. So let's see. He's already started to show adjustments after getting knocked down, which is what you want to see if you're a guy going for Ortiz in this. Ortiz comes out, double jab, left hand. Nothing, not too flush though. Double jab, left hand to the body this time by Ortiz. Ortiz is coming out aggressive in this second round. Oh, Martin throws a big 1-2. Partially blocked, though. All right, we definitely got some testosterone pumping in this second round. You know, Martin knows that he can hurt him now, but Ortiz is like, this is a different level. This is a different level, bro. So it's starting to get heated up a little bit here in this second round. 2 minutes to go, one minute down. Martin needs to continue to, big right hook by Martin. Try to follow up with the left hand, but Ortiz did slip out of it. If I'm Ortiz, I would go to the body. Stop trying to headhunt. Start throwing big hooks to the body if you're Ortiz. Try to slow down Martin. Martin is doing a very good job using his range and length, which is exactly what I told you guys before this fight started. This is what he has to do. You can't go toe-to-toe with King Kong. You got to let the older fighter work. You got to make him work and follow you and try to cut off the ring. But so far, it looks like Martin has done his homework. And pumping out the jab here. This slowed down here in the second round. Oh, nice counter shot by Ortiz. Ortiz with a nice little slip counter right there as Martin tried to land his left hand in there. Oh, nice left hand by Ortiz. I got Ortiz slightly ahead in this round so far. Not by a lot, but he has definitely landed cleaner shots. More significant shots. Martin goes back to the jab. Last 35 seconds of this second round. No punches thrown here for the past 10 seconds. And then finally, Martin throws a 1-2, but nothing landed. Pumps the jab. Now Ortiz is starting to slip Martin's jab. Ooh, nice jab to the body, then to the head by Martin. Tries to throw the left hand, follow up with the left hand, but couldn't land it. Close round. Very, very close round. Last 10 seconds. Nice jab to the sternum by Martin. All right, that's the end of the second round. I'm going to give the nod to Ortiz on that one, but I'm going to put a little star next to round two because that could be a swing round. Martin didn't do terribly. He didn't land anything as like eye-catching, but he did utilized the jab quite well. But I'm going to give it to Ortiz. Hands Beecham, go. What's good, bro? Thanks for dropping by. I'm not sure if you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not, hit that subscribe button, bro. I appreciate you stopping by and being a part of Divine Sense Boxing Commentary tonight. Omega Red, great fight so far. Yeah, bro, it is. Very good fight so far. Definitely on the edge of my seat. I like fights like this. Much better than what the co-main event was. That's for damn sure. They just showed Ortiz's family in the crowd. They're kind of crying. They're a bit worried about their dad. But don't worry, kids. Your dad's a beast. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. Here we go. Round 3. Main event. Luis Ortiz trying to get that first round knockdown swung back into his favor and even out the scorecards here. If he wins this round, he will do that. The good thing about getting knocked down in the first round is he's still got a lot of rounds to go to get back into the fight. Ooh. Nice left hand by Martin there. I saw sweat flying, but it could have been from the shoulder of Ortiz and not the head. It's kind of hard to see clearly. Nice right hand to the body. Martin's pumping that jab out there, keeping that range out there. I mean, he has definitely done his homework, people. Martin has. Third round kind of slowed down a little bit. A minute has gone. I think now both of them are very respectful of each other's power. Martin has gotten a knockdown, but I feel like Martin has felt Ortiz's power as well. He's definitely not taking any chances. That's where Ortiz wants Martin. Try to lay a trap. You want to lay a trap if you're Ortiz, right? You want to lay a trap, get him in close, big shot to the body, try to come up underneath with a big uppercut, use some head movement, do a little bit of a peekaboo and try to come up from the bottom to the top if you're Ortiz, right? You want to cut off that range. You want to make that range useless. Tough round to score. Nothing significant landed by any fighter. We got a minute to go left in this third round. But once again, I gave Ortiz the second round because he did land some big clean shots. But he hasn't really done that in this round. And Martin continues to pump out the jab, even though it's not eye-popping, but he's working, right? He's working. He's pumping the jab to the chest, to the body, to the head. He tries to land a left hand. Wasn't able to do it. Ortiz ties up that left hand. Reset. 30 seconds to go in the third round. Martin continues to pump out the jab. That time it was parried. Parried again by Ortiz. But he's working, though. Martin is putting out a better work rate. Ortiz finally pumps out a jab, but it's parried by Martin. I didn't catch the tail of the tape, but it seems like Martin has like a 3, maybe 4-inch reach advantage. Lands a double jab there by Martin. Time. Right, it's the end of round 3. I got to give that to Martin, guys. I got to give that to Martin. Getting ready for round 4. If you guys haven't hit that like button, make sure you do that. Hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, stay a part of the conversation, and I appreciate you. I have it. So 3 rounds up. I've got Martin winning 3 out of the 2 rounds. The first round, of course, was a knockdown. So I have Martin slightly up here. Ortiz is going to have to show me something a little bit. If you're Martin, you can just sit behind the jab all night long, right? Jab up and down. Try to land the left hand if you can. You can do that and possibly win this fight. So if you're Ortiz, like I said, man, you got to get up underneath and rip to the body, slip, counter. You can't just stand there and try to lunge in at Martin because Martin has done his homework, man. Every time you lunge in, he's popping you with the jab, popping to the jab, and he's sliding out, right? So Ortiz has got to dig into his bag of tricks here. Ortiz comes out aggressively in the 4th round. throwing a lot of jabs, left hand. But Martin comes back with a 1-2, but it was mostly blocked by Ortiz. First 20 seconds of the fourth round, very active by both fighters. Nice 1-2 by Martin. Partially blocked, but it did open up Ortiz's eyes. Ooh! Ortiz landed a nice left hand, but Martin ate it. Nice jab by Ortiz. Ortiz is winning this round so far. He's doing well. Martin needs to go back to that jab. He can't get complacent. Nice slip by Ortiz and a counter jab. Stepping in with the jab again. Ortiz, he wants to win this round. You can tell there's some urgency in Ortiz. If you guys are not watching the fight live, Martin is wearing black and gold, which is actually one of my favorite colors. And Ortiz is wearing white, blue trunks with like some blue and pink like butterflies. Yeah, and I'm not joking. I don't know if there's like some type of significance with his trunks, but that's what they're wearing if you're not able to watch the fight. Slowing down again. It started off very fast, but you get that with heavyweights quite a lot. It starts off fast and then it slows down in the middle part. Oh, nice by Martin there. Double jab with the left hand. Kind of inches his way back into this round, but I still have Ortiz up. It's going to come down to this last minute. Who's going to take this round? Who's going to take it? Ortiz needs to be aggressive. I have Ortiz slightly up in this round, but he needs to put an exclamation point this last 50 seconds. No punches are being thrown. If I'm not speaking, that means there's no punches being thrown. Just FYI, if you're listening to the fight or you're listening to me and can't watch the fight. There you go to Ortiz. Go to the body. Perfect. Oh, nice left hand by Ortiz. Yeah, slip up underneath. I agree with Lennox Lewis. You know, slip up underneath and just go to that body, man. When you're a long-rangey fighter, get up underneath and go to that body. Take the wind out of those sails. Now, he started to do it here in this fourth round a bit. You know, Lennox was a guy who worked behind the jab a lot in his career, fighting guys who were shorter than him. So he know. Ooh, down goes Ortiz again. I'm not quite sure, but it looked like a jab caught him when a jab at that time it looked by Martin. And round ends. He did make the 8 count, Ortiz did. But down went Ortiz again. It looked like from a counter jab stepping away. But that's another 10-8 round for Martin, guys. Another 10-8 round for Martin. And I've only given Ortiz 1 round thus far. I'm going to watch the replay real quick. Yeah, stepping away jab. And, you know, Martin timed it. Martin is using his range, people. He has done his homework. He has done his homework, man. I hope you guys are enjoying my commentary. If you are enjoying it, maybe you're just watching the fight and fixated and just listening to my voice along the way. If that's the case, give me a fire emoji in the chat. Let me know that you're enjoying my commentary. It means a lot to me. But we're going into the 5th round now. 2 knockdowns thus far, and you would think that would be Ortiz, right? But no, it is Martin. Martin has scored 2 knockdowns. Can Ortiz swing the fight back into his favor? He needs a knockdown quite badly right now. He comes out in the 5th round, goes to the body very nicely, did Ortiz. And it's crazy because Ortiz was doing well in that 4th round. I was going to give him that round. But once you go down, man, you get down behind that scorecard. Round 5 now, about a minute gone from the 5th round. Oh, you tell that Ortiz is trying to land that left hand, but Martin's doing good, man. He's blocking. He's moving out of the way. You can see the confidence in Martin now, right? He's confident. He knows he can hurt him. He can hurt him. He knows that he can hurt him with the left hand, which was the first knockdown, and he knows he can hurt him with the jab as well. So he just got to be smart, though, and not let his confidence become carelessness. "90 seconds to go in this 5th round. Not too much action. Seems like a bit of a recovery round for Martin. You know, once we get into the 7th, 8th round, this fight's going to slow down a lot, and we're going to start seeing some bombs, I think. Ooh, nice 1-2 by Ortiz. Nice. Go to the body by Ortiz. That's good. He needs to go to the body more. Last minute of this round, 5th round. If you're just joining and listening to the commentary, I appreciate you. We're about to finish this 5th round. Not much, nothing big, nothing too significant. But I'm giving Ortiz this round thus far. He's working. You can tell there's urgency. And it's a round that I feel like Martin has kind of taken off. Last 30 seconds. Nice jab by Ortiz. Ortiz is doing well in this round. He is doing well. But you need to see that from a veteran, right? Ortiz stumbles again. Ortiz stumbled, but their feet could have got tangled. I'm not quite sure. But Martin did throw a punch, and Ortiz stumbled. Left hand nearly lands by Martin. But I'm going to give that to Ortiz. I feel like Martin took too much of that round off. So I give that round to Ortiz. Ortiz really needs a knockdown. If not, he's got to go a shutout basically from here on out to really, solidify this victory because he's definitely down. But I've given him 2 rounds so far out of the 5 rounds already fought. Black Superman in the building, bro. I appreciate you, man. I see the fire emoji, man. I appreciate you. Martin came prepared. He absolutely came prepared. This dude did his homework, man. Yahweh, I appreciate you, man. I know you're listening, and I know, Yahweh, that you're not able to watch the fight live, man. So I appreciate you. Rada, thank you for the fire emojis. Loud Boy says Ortiz needs to do something now. He needs a knockdown. He definitely needs to win 2-3 more rounds convincingly to make this, if it goes 12, make it a tough fight for the judges to score. All right, round number 6. If you're watching the fight live and using my commentary, I appreciate you. I might be a little bit behind you, so taking that into consideration. Please go off of my commentary and don't spoil it for the other people who may not be able to watch the fight live. So once again, Ortiz. Ortiz coming in. Big combination. Down goes Martin. Martin is caught in the ropes. His hand is caught in the ropes. That gives him a bit of extra time. So Ortiz lands a big shot, hurts Martin, throws a combination on Martin. Martin, as he's going down, gets his hand caught between the ropes. Ortiz is trying to finish Martin off right here. Another big right hand going to the body now. Martin does not want to be exchanging toe-to-toe with Ortiz here. He needs to hold or he needs to move. Ortiz is trying to finish him. Will he empty his tank, though? Big right hand by Ortiz. Body shot. Down goes Martin. Martin gets up. He's definitely hurt. He's definitely fatigued. He's up, though. 7, 8. Referee just called it. Holy shit. Referee just called it. I'm guessing that he didn't like that Martin wasn't looking at him when the referee was saying, look at me, it looked as if Martin was okay. I mean, he did get up. He was definitely hurt. Martin goes up to Ortiz after the fight was called off and says that was bullshit. And then Ortiz pushes him away. Martin keeps saying that was bullshit, that was bullshit. I'm not quite sure what he's saying was bullshit or not. But Martin's still trying to fight. Martin's still trying to fight. And now they're hugging each other. So I'm not quite sure why Martin is saying bullshit. That's very confusing. I don't know if he's upset because he got his hand caught, but that's not Ortiz's fault. So so the fight was just stopped. If you're just joining, right? The fight was just stopped, and I felt like Martin got up from the second knockdown. But it's like in his mind, he was thinking like, I ain't hurt, I'm not hurt, I'm not hurt. But you got to communicate with your eyes to the referee. You got to let him know that you're okay. You can't just walk around and not look at the referee. It's risky. Not every referee is going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Just because you're on your feet doesn't mean that you're automatically going to beat the count, right? And it's true. He wasn't looking at the referee at all, and the referee called it, right? Now, that may have upset Martin, but you should know better as a professional. You've been around boxing long enough. You get knocked down, you got to look at the referee. You got to make eye contact. You got to nod your head. You got to put your hands up. You got to do something to let the referee know that you're there mentally. Just because you're walking around doesn't mean you're there. Wow. This is the thing about heavyweights, right? It's like I have Martin up by probably about 3 or 4 points or so up in the 5th round. I only gave Ortiz 2 out of the 5. And then all of a sudden, Ortiz turns it around and gets the knockout. Heavyweight boxing, guys. Heavyweight boxing. Luke's in. I appreciate you, bro. Hit that like button, man, and subscribe to the channel. Stay a part of the conversation, bro. I appreciate you. All the way from Zambia, man. That's what's up, man. Thank you. OG Brooklyn says that's high IQ. Experience did come into play. You know, Ortiz, see, this is where the fight with Wilder helps Ortiz, right? Because he's been on the canvas before. He's been hurt. He's been knocked out before by one of the biggest punchers in the game. He's had to get off the canvas before. He's had to go through this and replay that in his mind over and over and over and over again, losing to a guy like Wilder, right? And he's hurt. He's been dropped by Martin. His pride is hurt. He didn't expect to be knocked down like that. But because of that experience that he's had against Wilder, he's able to pull himself together, stay focused. And in that 6th round, he came out aggressive. It's like, you hurt me, but you're going to have to stop me. And that IQ came into play. Now, with his, what a fucking left hand by Ortiz. He got hit so hard by that left hand. And I've never seen a guy's hand get caught in the ropes like that. That is the most odd thing that I've ever seen in the sport of boxing. And that's so crazy because it disrupts the count and everything, right? The fighter's glove is caught in between the top rope and the middle rope, right? If you're not watching the fight, so it's kind of hard to imagine, but that's what happened. The top and the middle rope got tangled up around his arm, and he couldn't stand up. So the referee technically can't call it, right? If the fighter is unable to get up due to his hand being caught. So they're showing the second knockdown here. And I was screaming that Martin he was trying to exchange with Ortiz, which was a bad decision. You got to hold on or you got to move. So the referee is counting, and he's wobbling. He's not really looking at the referee, clearly hurt, and the referee called it. And Ortiz did exactly what a veteran would do, is as Martin is trying to tie him up, he's just ripping to the body. Ripping to the body. And it's crazy because he gets knocked down the second time. He gets right back up. But see, this is where experience comes into play, right? When you get knocked down like that, you need to take a knee. Look at the referee, take a knee, watch the count. When it gets to 7 or 8, stand up. You don't just bounce up after a knockdown like that when you've already been knocked down once, right? You're knocked down a second time, and you let pride get the best of you. Now they're replaying the part where Martin goes up to Ortiz and is like, that's bullshit, bro. And Ortiz is like, pushes him away and says, get out of my face. That was right after the fight was called. So I'm waiting to hear from Martin on what he thought was bullshit. I don't know if he thought, like, why would you go to Ortiz about that? I mean, if you're upset, go to the referee. If you didn't like the stoppage. But maybe it's just ego. Maybe that's all that was just ego. Like, he just lost a fight. And all right, so now they're announcing the official winner. Luis King Kong Ortiz. 42, 43, whatever the hell he is. But what did I tell you guys before the fight started, man? Power don't go. Mike Tyson, damn near 60. He still got power. Power's the last thing that goes. Your legs go, your reflexes go, all those things go. But the power remains for a long time, right? And that's the power saved him tonight. All right, so they're going to interview Ortiz first, and then hopefully Martin. I don't know if he's left the ring or what. Yeah, Martin has left the ring. He's refusing an interview, which is a bit sad because you're saying bullshit and you don't want to explain yourself, but whatever. So they're interviewing Ortiz now. If you guys have joined in and listened to the commentary, I appreciate you. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button. Get the likes all the way up. I'm hoping that we can get at least 50 likes. We only got 40 right now. Let's get it up to 50. I'm going to go ahead and swing into the post-fight thoughts here in a moment as they're interviewing Ortiz at the end of this fight. Chavo. It's hard to imagine the ending of that fight with Martin getting his hand caught between the ropes. That shit was crazy. But bro, Chavo, man, I hope you Ortiz just said, I respect Martin a lot. He knocked me down twice. It was a tough fight. They asked him, hey, did you think the fight was getting away from you? And he said, no. I'm just working. I'm going through the motions. My Spanish is decent, but sometimes like the Cuban accent is a bit difficult for me to understand. But basically he said that he wasn't worried, even though he knew he was down. He was knocked down 2 times, but they worked hard for this fight. They were prepared for anything. And, at the end of the day, yeah, his experience came out. So now a new poll is going to go in the chat for everybody. I'm going to put in there who should Ortiz go after next, right? Not, it doesn't mean that whoever he goes after is going to be willing to fight him, but nonetheless, I want to hear you guys' thoughts on who that should be. So I'm going to go ahead and put that poll into the chat here momentarily. Ortiz busts out the English and says, "Don't be scared of King Kong." don't don't be scared. I want all the heavyweights, he says in English. Respect to that. All right, poll is up. Only unfortunately I can only offer 3 options. Sorry, 4 options. So I can definitely put more in there, but I just grabbed some names off the top of my head on who you think that Ortiz should go after next. So make sure you vote in that poll. Let the people know what you think. OG Brooklyn says, and Ortiz knee was looking suspicious. Yeah, he. If people are wondering, yo, Divine, do you think age played a factor in this fight? Definitely. It definitely did, but experience came out and power. Experience and power is what won Ortiz this fight tonight. It wasn't speed. It wasn't elusiveness. He was getting hit with shots that he probably wouldn't have gotten hit with, 4 or 5 years ago. Martin's not super fast. He doesn't have blazing speed. He doesn't have Lennox Lewis jabbing capabilities, right? So age is definitely a factor, but experience and power is what won him the fight. Jerome, what's good, bro? He says, so mad I missed this, but I'm glad Ortiz won. Bro, were you listening during the fight or you just came in, bro? So it's up in the chat right here. Make sure you vote in the poll. Get your votes in because people will start coming in here post-fight. A lot of people watch the fight and then they go around YouTube to join the post-fight party. So make sure you vote in that poll. Jay Smooth says this was an IBF title eliminator. He's probably going to go after the winner of the Usyk Joshua rematch. Very good point from Jay Smooth there, and I'm glad you pointed it out. Sometimes we forget about these eliminator fights, and that's a very good point. So he's technically now in position to fight for that IBF strap, which Usyk currently holds. So you're right. He could, or he should technically, to be quite honest with you, fight the winner of Joshua and Usyk. Now, I think Usyk beats Joshua, and I think Usyk beats Ortiz. I just think that Usyk is just too slippery. He's not going to stand in front of Ortiz like Martin did tonight. Styles make fights. Martin was doing well because he was longer, rangier. He was using the jab well. Usyk is not going to have those advantages, which kind of forces him to move a lot more. But he has that capability. You know what I mean? So, interesting fight, but I still think Usyk wins that fight. Now, Joshua, on the other hand, if he somehow pulls the upset and beats Usyk in the rematch, I think that Ortiz can knock out Joshua. I really do. I really do think he can knock out Joshua. But, seeing Ortiz get dropped, let's keep it real here for a moment. Seeing Ortiz get dropped 2 times in this fight makes me, it makes me wonder a little bit. Let's not forget the dude was stopped and hit with massive shots by Deontay Wilder, right? He gets knocked down by a guy who's not known for being a big puncher. And he was knocked down by a jab tonight, right? By Martin. So although I feel like he can beat Joshua and knock out Joshua is still a big dude. And if Martin could crack him, Joshua can crack Ortiz too. And this is kind of like age playing a factor. He's taken some damage. He had over 300 amateur fights. He's been in the fight game for a long time. Can he continue to take these big punches by these heavyweights? We have to consider that, right? This is something that we can't just turn a blind eye to. Karma Boxing says, MMA says, man, age affected on Ortiz's chin seemed a bit weak. Yeah, exactly what I just said, bro. Exactly. Jerome says, was at an event with the wife and kids. All right, all good, bro. Hey, well, look, man, you got the highlights, and of course, you can run this back as well. My man Town Business and Entertainment in the building, man. If you guys ain't subscribed to my man Town Biz, make sure you go check him out. He's one of the workhorses out here in the boxing community, man. The dude drops like 3 or 4 videos sometimes a day, and has been a loyal subscriber of mine since the very beginning. Shout out to my man Town. He says, this is what heavyweight fights are all about. Just goes to show you one punch can turn the fight around. Facts. He goes on to say Ortiz has a chance against anybody with his power if he lands the correct punch at the right moment. Yeah, definitely. I was telling everybody earlier, Town, if you just joined, that, like, look, man, power is the last thing to go. If you're born with power, you die with power. It's a God-given ability, right? And Ortiz, this dude, he's a big dude, strong dude, and born with power. And just like George Foreman, later in his career when he made his comeback, he wasn't as quick. He wasn't as quick on his feet. He didn't do the things that he did as a young George Foreman did, but he still had that hammer. He still had that power. And he won the title at 42, 43, whatever the hell he was, because of that power. So he still has that, right? But at the same time, he's been in the game for a long time. He's taken damage, and it's one thing to take a damage as a lightweight as it is a heavyweight. You know what I mean? Big men taking big punches like that for many years. Could he take a punch? Could he take a flush punch from Joshua? Right? So it's a 50-50 fight because Joshua's chin is suspect as well. I mean, Usyk almost stopped him, and Usyk is not a big puncher, and he's a cruiserweight, basically, moving up to heavyweight. So it's a 50-50 fight. I'm just clearing out this stream real quick. But yeah, man, I mean, those are my thoughts in a nutshell when it comes to where I see Ortiz going from here. I mean, the dude won, right? So he's not done, right? You got a victory. You came down. I mean, I had him down on the scorecards. Martin was doing way better than I thought he would. He did his homework, but again, experience and power won the fight for Ortiz. It wasn't footwork. It wasn't savviness. It wasn't boxing ability. It wasn't like this smooth Cuban style. It was literally, I've been here before. I've been hurt before. I've been knocked down before. And I know what I got to do to win. And I got this hammer. And one thing that I would like to see where you really see that veteran status is when he had him hurt after the first knockdown and was just ripping into the body. That's what you want to do. And I think that just took the wind out of Martin, man. That's what made his legs weak. It wasn't the headshot. Because if you look back at that second knockdown, Martin popped back up, but his legs weren't ready. His legs weren't ready. And so he's like trying to find his bearings and trying to regather his leg strength, right? And then ultimately the referee called the fight. Watcher, what's good, bro? In the building says an aged Ortiz versus the best Martin, and he still knocked him silly. Yeah, he did, man. I mean, shout out to Ortiz. But look, guys, remember what I said if you were in here earlier. A lot of people were talking shit about Ortiz. Wilder fought him in the first fight, 2008, 17, 18? So Ortiz was 3-4 years younger than what he is now. Oh, but that wasn't a good victory, right? Wilder beats him again in the rematch. Oh, that wasn't a good victory. So guess what's going to happen now? All these dudes that were talking shit about Ortiz and discrediting the 2 victories that Wilder had against him are now going to come on YouTube hooting and hollering and giving Ortiz all this praise. But, oh, he's old, but, man, he's a beast and this, that, and the third. But over here on Divine Sense Boxing, I've been giving Ortiz credit for the longest time. And I've been telling people that Wilder beating him 2 times is nothing to sneeze at. It's not something that, oh, he just beat an old man. Because you guys aren't out here saying that shit now. Town Biz goes on to say, remember, D, I seen Ortiz in real life in Vegas, and he is a big dude. I mean, they don't call him King Kong for no reason. You know, yeah. Yeah, man. Yahweh said Wilder really blasted Ortiz. Yeah, he did, but Ortiz made it a tough fight. Ortiz made Deontay dig deep. It was probably the first time in Deontay's career where he had to dig deep because he was just so used to knocking dudes out within 5 rounds, right? So, I mean, look, I'll give myself an aneurysm, basically, if I continue to beat this drum. But y'all see it on YouTube tonight. Y'all see it. Once I'm done with this live, if you guys are still chilling on YouTube, you're going to see certain channels out here praising Ortiz, especially the Latinos out here and the Hispanic people out here who, you know, as soon as a Latino wins, they're like, oh, yeah, you know, Latinos are great fighters and Ortiz is just another example of that, you know, and all this shit. But when we brought it up in conversation in regards to Wilder, Ortiz wasn't shit. Y'all remember that, right? Yeah. Divine Sense Boxing remembers that, man. I got a memory like a fox. I remember shit that happened 12 years ago when I was on YouTube. I remember faces. I remember names. I remember things. I remember videos. I keep my mind fresh. And I got my mind on you, man. I'm telling you. Stacy Rubin, bro, what's good, man? He says, good broadcast. Thank you. You're typically spot on. Can't wait for the highlights, man. I appreciate you, man. I don't know if you watched the fight live or not. If you didn't, and you were relying on my commentary, man, that means a lot to me, man, more than you know, and I appreciate a comment like that, bro, from Stacy, man. And hopefully you've hit that like button. And anybody who has came by to listen to my thoughts and hasn't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and stay a part of this conversation. Anytime there's a fight, I won't say anytime, but I try my best of any credible pay-per-view fight or free fight for that matter, doesn't really matter. If it's names that have a buzz, I'm going to try to commentate live about it. And this is, you know, what I do and what I enjoy more than anything else when it comes to sport of boxing, commentating, breaking down fights, and giving fight predictions. If that's the type of shit that you like in the sport of boxing, you need to make sure that you're subscribed to Divine Sense Boxing. Bronchies Boxing says Ortiz would have smashed Fury 2 years ago. Simple. Fury a cheating cunt. Straight, simple facts. And I'm from England. Yeah, it makes you wonder, right? It really does make you wonder. During that whole turmoil between, Wilder fighting Ortiz, during that time frame, you had Joshua Fury, Wilder. You had this little merry-go-round. You all remember that, right? It was like, at that time, nobody was fighting. These 3 heavyweight juggernauts, nobody was fighting anybody. And then you had Ortiz here. Ortiz was the dark horse at that time. Ortiz was knocking everybody out. Ortiz was trying to make a name for himself. I'm talking like 4 years ago. And nobody wanted to fight him. But Wilder fought him. They had a hell of a fight. Ortiz forced Wilder to dig deep in that fight. And then ultimately Wilder stopped him. Now, the Joshua fans will tell you at that time, well, they offered Ortiz an opportunity, and Ortiz turned it down. But you never know with Eddie Hearn. You never know with that dude. Period. And they may have made him an offer, but it could have been a disgusting offer, a disrespectful offer. Now, I don't know if Town Biz is still in the building. He knows these type of details, but I don't know what the split was between Wilder and Ortiz the first fight. But I can almost guarantee that Deontay offered him more than what Joshua was willing to offer him. But look, man, I have said this for a long time, and I will continue to say it. Nobody wanted to fight Ortiz when Ortiz was the dark horse in the heavyweight boxing 4 years ago, except for Wilder. And I don't care what kind of paintbrush you try to paint it with or what color you try to paint it with. At the end of the day, it's black and white. That's it. There's no other abstract colors to be involved in this scenario. The dude was ducked. But hey, he's 4 years older. He just got dropped 2 times by Martin. Now maybe Joshua will fight him, but he's got to get past Usyk first, and I don't know if he does that. To be quite honest with you. And if the Dillian White and Fury fight doesn't happen because Dillian White feels disrespected by the 80-20 split, then maybe Fury now feels confident to fight Ortiz. Because he saw, this Ortiz guy, he's old. Oh, he wasn't old 4 years ago, but he's old now. It's convenient for you. And you see Martin drop him twice, so now you might feel a bit more confident. Won't that be some shit, though? Won't that be some shit? If Fury goes and fights Ortiz and Ortiz knocks out Fury, that'll be some crazy shit. But Dillian White is Fury's mandatory. This fight tonight was an IBF eliminator, so technically speaking, Ortiz should fight the winner of Joshua and Usyk. Chavo says, Divine, you're on point, and this is why a lot of heavyweights don't want to fight him. He was way too much power and will plus the experience. Facts. PGH Big Dog in the building says Ortiz vs. Wilder 1 was a very underrated fight. Ortiz still can be a problem, but a damn shame they aged him out. Big facts. They did. But 4 years later, they might be willing to fight him now. Man, you said that I think Usyk would win against AJ, but I think the fight would be like AJ versus Ruiz 2, jab and grab. You mean the rematch with AJ and Usyk? You think that AJ's going to jab and grab? Stacey Rubin says they have always discounted Wilder, always in capital letters. Ortiz was credible then and even an older one now. His footwork has gone down, but I believe most of the top heavyweights now would struggle a bit with him. Yeah, I mean, if you're a heavyweight going against Ortiz, despite the age, despite the fact that he's a bit slower, you still have to take into consideration that that he can just land something big and clean you out. I mean, it's as simple as that. And if you're Joshua, you're scared because your chin's suspect. Your chin's suspect. Let's keep it real. Champ Live Boxing in the building, bro. What's good, man? What's good? Good to see you up in here. Specific volume in the building. Ortiz literally hypnotized Martin. Yeah, that shit was crazy. I haven't seen that in a while where you get hit with such a big shot and it's like you don't go down, but the dude was hit into a different dimension. This shit was crazy. He knocked his soul out into another dimension and then his soul came back into him. And somehow during that little sequence, he got his hand caught up in the ropes. That was some crazy shit right there. I don't know if I've ever seen that. It's been a while. I definitely have never seen a guy's arm get tangled up in the ropes like that. I mean, I've seen their arms get tangled, but never get caught like that, to where they can't pull their hand out after they've just been knocked down, because then it's like, how does the referee count that? You can't. You can't really count that. So he probably got some pretty seconds to recover. Champ Life says Wilder's last 5 fights, all classics. Yep. Or Devin in the building. What's up, Devin? He says Ortiz is a good boxer with elite power, deserves more respect. I agree. Jay Smooth, I watched the interview. AJ said it's war. He's not jabbing and grabbing in the rematch, and that's easy to say. But Usyk is not Ruiz. He's too skilled. Big facts. And people continue to sleep on Usyk. They keep sleeping on him, even though he did what he did against Joshua. The Joshua fans, just wait. Once the fight is sealed and delivered, and there's a date set, the Joshua fans will be back. I'll promise you that. They went into hibernation after his ass got slapped up by the dude from Ukraine. Went in there and slapped him up in front of his hometown, in front of his own people. They went into hibernation, right? But they'll be back. And they're going to be like, oh, you know, Devon, he's going back to the States. He's got this gangster mentality now. He's going to get a U.S. coach. He's going to be tougher, more rugged. He's going to, like, use his size and all this. I've already started to hear it. I've already started to hear it. Which is fine. Which is totally fine. I don't care. Like, I want you to be confident in your fighter. It's better than having your tail between your legs and quivering, you know, behind the laptop trying to talk shit and troll people. So it's fine. But when Usyk smokes that ass again, Joshua better just go on and retire. And y'all better go find someone else to support in the UK. Chavo says, realistically, the only fight I can see him land is against Ruiz, but I don't even think that will happen because he knows he can't win that fight. I think Ruiz scared of power as he should be with his chin. Yep, for sure. Devin, people still believe Joshua will win the rematch. Oh, bro, they're coming out, bro. I'm telling you. Right now, it's just the rumblings, right? But like I said, once they sign and deliver that shit and there's a date set, the Joshua fans will be back. And I remember, like it was yesterday, when I dropped my prediction video and I said Usyk will beat Joshua, the Joshua fans were coming at me at all different angles. I feel like I had half the UK attacking me. It was bad enough when I picked Wilder over Fury. But nonetheless, when my prediction was correct, crickets. But they'll be back, bro. I promise you that, Devin. They'll be back. Frank Sanchez versus Andy Ruiz will be fire. Yeah, I mean, anybody who Andy Ruiz fights, I'm gonna tune in, man. Andy's just like that. He's like that anomaly, right? He's like, he doesn't look like much, but he's got the hand speed, he got a little pop. And if he takes a fight seriously, he's a threat. And but I've heard rumors that Wilder might fight Ruiz. If Joshua loses, should Wilder and Joshua win tune-ups in a minor retirement fight? Yeah, I feel like there's Wilder can make a comeback and fight Ruiz or someone like that, and fight, I don't know, Parker or some shit. I just feel like if you don't have Joshua on your resume when it's all said and done, there might be a little blemish on the resume for both fighters, for Joshua and Wilder. And although I personally believe that Joshua never, capital letters, never wanted any part of Wilder then and now, even with Wilder losing to Fury twice, he saw what Wilder did to Fury by knocking him down. What was it? 4 times in 3 fights, whatever it was. So he knows then, and he knows it now. But when the history books are written, I just don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, what will people actually say? I think that it'll hurt both fighters' resumes if they don't have each other on their resume. So with that being said, yeah, it would be nice for them to fight, even if it's later in their career when they don't have much left. I mean, but look, man, the heavyweight division is open right now. You have these title eliminators, you have these mandatories, you have this, that, whatever. We don't know what's going to happen. But this year in 2022, we need at least 4 to 5 big heavyweight fights this year. Last year, we were starved of it, right? The first 9 months of the year, we didn't really get any heavyweight boxing because of the pandemic, right? So this year we are owed as boxing fans to get at least 4 to 5 big heavyweight fights. Right off the bat, we know we're going to probably get Ortiz. Sorry, we're going to get Usyk and Joshua rematch. Fury's going to probably fight somebody. We don't know who that is. So that's 2 fights right there. So we're owed 2, possibly 3 more fights this year as boxing fans, in my opinion. So look, guys, what I'll do, I've been live now for 2 hours. I live stream most of the fight. We need 50 likes though before I get up out of here. So if you guys haven't hit that like button, I know when we use cell phones and stuff like that, we forget to hit that like button because it's not as visible as what it is on a laptop. So get these likes all the way up to 50. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up the panel for another 20 minutes or so. If anybody is available that wants to come in, leave their thoughts about the heavyweight division, about Ortiz, about Wilder, about whatever it is, then you're open and free to do so, and I'll leave it open. But this is another conversation that is definitely going to be had within the next few days. I'm probably going to start a Firestorm panel, try to bring in Drew Titan, try to bring in Tay, try to bring in Stormy B-Man, maybe Trill Will, some other dudes, and just chop it up about this division. But yeah, let me drop the link for anybody that wants to drop in now just to leave their thoughts. I'll leave it open for a little bit, and then I'm going to call it a night. So there it is right there in the chat. Anybody wants to jump in and leave their thoughts about this fight, about the heavyweight division, whatever it may be, then there it is. Chavo says, I'm not going to lie. I think Usyk wins, but AJ definitely has a good chance if he fights like an aggressive big heavyweight. Divine, are you saying he has no chance? Oh, AJ always has a chance. AJ has a chance. That's why I said, like, AJ and Ortiz is a 50-50 fight. 50-50. Wilder knocks Ortiz, or Wilder knocks Joshua the hell out. I mean, there's just no, you can't convince me otherwise. Especially if Wilder comes back and gets a tune-up fight and like smashes some dude, whoever it is, builds his confidence back up. Joshua's dead meat if he fights Wilder. Fury fight though, that's a close fight. I think that's a styles make fights. Two big dudes. So Joshua's still in contention, but I just don't know where he at. I don't know where he's at mentally, man. And when I'm talking about fighters and giving fight predictions, it's kind of like anytime I talk about any sport, it's like, where is the athlete mentally? Like, we know what the physical capabilities are, but where are they mentally? Joshua's not there mentally. Wilder is not there mentally either, but Wilder is not there mentally for different reasons. Joshua's not there mentally because he just got smacked up in his hometown. He got dropped by Ruiz. He had to rematch it. And when he fought Usyk, he was beat by a cruiserweight. So it's literally like, okay, either you don't recover from that and you're mentally distraught for the rest of your career, or you use that as fuel to come back and re-engineer yourself and reclaim the heavyweight division. I mean, there's no other way around it. I just don't know where he's at mentally. I really don't know with Joshua anymore. Wilder is not there mentally because he feels that he's had a great career. He's made a lot of money. He has accomplished amazing things in the sport of boxing. And he's chilling, basically. He's chilling. He's not mentally there because he doesn't feel like he needs to be mentally there. Joshua is not mentally there, but he knows he needs to be there mentally there. You understand what I'm saying? That's the difference. Yo, what's good, bro? Haven't seen you in a while, man. Good to see you in here. Stacy Rubin says, get those likes up. Subscribe if you're not. Common sense, real boxing fans. Facts. Like, if you like boxing and you like commentary, you like fight breakdowns, you like fight predictions, you got to be subscribed to Divine Sense Boxing. Period. Point blank. There's no other way to cut and slice that. But that's just my thoughts about AJ, man. I've never like disliked him, or a lot of people make fun of him and stuff like that. I don't really go down that road, but I feel like it's a little bit kind of like the Teofimo and Kambosos situation. Teofimo Lopez thought that Kambosos was going to be a speed bump. Joshua thought that Usyk was going to be a speed bump. He's like, how's this cruiserweight going to fight me? I'm 6'6". I'm 200 fucking 20, 30, whatever the fuck he is. I got all this skill, and there's no way he beats me. And he's just nothing but a speed bump. And Usyk came in there and touched his ass up and hurt him. He hurt Joshua. Busted his eye up, busted his nose up, and embarrassed him in his hometown. So if I'm Usyk, I'm like, oh, we get the rematch. I got the belts now. We're gonna go on my side of the planet. We're gonna go to Siberia. We're gonna fight in the damn snow if I want to. We'll build a damn ring in a blizzard. Let's go. I call the shots now. And I'm all for that, by the way. I'm all for an underdog coming in, beating a dude, taking the belts, and it's like, I'm the champ now. Oh, absolutely, Jay Smooth. Absolutely. Ruiz, first Mexican heavyweight champion. Living the life, living in the spotlight for 6 months or whatever it was. And yeah, you're absolutely right. It got to his head. He ballooned up in weight, became sluggish, slow, wasn't prepared mentally or physically for the rematch. And, AJ's the one who came from a loss, right? So he's got motivation. It's one thing to be the underdog trying to claim the prize. It's a whole nother thing of being the top dog and still having that motivation to stay on the top. It's another ball game. And that's why people don't give Mayweather enough credit. I don't give a shit if you don't like his flamboyant style. I don't care if you don't like the fact that he puts strippers on his Instagram, bouncing their ass, throwing money on strippers and shit, a 45-year-old grown-ass man doing it. I don't give a damn about any of that shit, right? For me, it's like I see it, I keep it moving. It's not my cup of tea, not my style, not how I get down. And I do that with anything in life. I see dumb shit, I keep it moving. But at the end of the day, the dude conquered boxing, man. And he stayed on top. Nobody can beat him. And it's just that little, that thing in your head, right? It's some people have it, some people don't. So, top athletes, they train and train and train. It doesn't matter what the sport is. Like, look at the NBA, look at the NFL. Look at the Eagles, right? When the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Never won a damn Super Bowl, right? Not the most talented team, but they had the desire, right? They had the will. They had the encouragement from the city and Philly and the crowd and all the other stuff, the underdog, the Cinderella story. They go out, they win the Super Bowl. What happens after that? Right? Any dynasty, the Bulls in the 90s, the Spurs, all the championships they won in the 2000s, or especially the early 2000s. Any dynasty, man, the Patriots, they have something within that team. Or a boxer, you got Mayweather when he was on it, when he was just defending his belts, and these guys who have all these title defenses. Lennox Lewis had a shitload of title defenses. These guys are just built different, man. Tom Brady, built different. They got some shit in their head. They just they just refuse to lose. It doesn't matter what it is. They can't lose to checkers. They can't lose tic-tac-toe. They get pissed off. They want to flip the board over. You know what I mean? Like, these dudes are just built different. And to me, Joshua's just not built that way. Just not. Omega, my man. So break it down for me. Omega, what this dude is always like. This dude right here, Omega, if you don't know, he puts in some heavy, heavy lifting on this YouTube shit. I see him everywhere showing love to all of his favorite channels out here. So I'm going to put this on Omega and say, give me the breakdown. Who do you want next for Ortiz, Joshua, Usyk, Fury? Give me the rundown. And if Wilder comes back, who do you want to see him fight next? Let me know in the comment section, man. My man Omega Red, fellow Navy veteran. Real Sick says, love the channel, bro, watching from TO. I appreciate you, man. Hopefully you've already smashed that like button. You're subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, Marcus Walls, good to see you back. Well, good to see you back in the chat, bro. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, man, I've December, I literally went live like twice in the whole month, man. I just been busy running around. It's a crazy time of the year for me. It's a time of year for me to kind of rewind, take vacation, spend time with the kid, and just kind of, yeah. But we back now, man. January, new year, new start, new chapter, back on the grind. Had my vacation. I went live the other day for a little bit, for about, I don't know, an hour or so. Let everybody see where I was at, resort, island, palm trees, coconut juice, the whole 9 yards. So I've done it. I got it all out of my system, recharged the batteries. But yeah, Divine Sense is back. I'm about to conquer this shit, man. Nobody's going to touch me. When it comes on this commentary, breakdown, prediction shit, y'all going to know, man, why people know. You hear the words, the whispers of Divine Sense. This is why. I've been around for a long time. This is what I do. And it's good to be back. And it's good to give back to the community and love back to the people who have shown me so much love to put me in the position that I'm in right now. I appreciate every single one of you. But look, last call for anybody that wants to jump on the channel real quick. If you want to leave any thoughts, you feel free to do so. Click that link, jump in. I'll bring you on. But I'm going to go ahead and wind this down here the last few minutes here. Quick thoughts in a nutshell. Well, I had Ortiz down. I had him winning only 2 rounds of the 5 rounds before the stoppage. Martin with 2 knockdowns. I thought he was on a way to victory. I really did. I mean, Ortiz started picking it up, but I just didn't. I was like, man, I don't know if he can sustain this going into 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but it didn't matter. The dude landed a nasty left hand, knocked down Martin. Martin got up, but it's on shaky legs. It was pretty much over from there. Got that second knockdown. Martin couldn't look at the referee. He was, he just didn't look like he was there, especially his legs. Referee called it. That's all she wrote as far as the fight is concerned. Frank Sanchez also fought on the co-main event against Christian Hammer. The fight, quite honestly, was boring as hell. I had a difficult time commentating on it. It's just like nothing going on. But Frank Sanchez won that fight easily just by boxing and moving. Even though I knew that he could, finish him off if he wanted to, but he just either didn't want to or he can't. Like, I don't know which one it is. Y'all can make up your minds on that. And so that's pretty much it about tonight, man. I enjoyed it. And for all the people out there that weren't able to watch the fight live, I hope I was able to provide some entertainment for you, entertaining commentary for you and perhaps your family, whoever's around, and continue to tune in, man, anytime I go live, man. But look, in the meantime, in between these big fights, man, I'm going to come back on here, go live, open these panels, open discussions, and get the ball rolling again. So again, guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Doesn't look like anybody's available to come on the channel. No big deal. I'll go ahead and end it on that note. And again, guys, if you haven't hit that like button, jab the like button, subscribe if you're new, stay a part of the conversation. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Keep you guys open. Divine Sense Boxing is back. Peace.